Hello everybody, Debbie here from EasyPianoStyles.com, and today we're going to do a lesson on how you might approach playing by ear, playing a song by ear. I do this a lot with my private students, and I think it's a really useful skill because it gets you to really listen to music and tones and differentiate pitches, high, low, rhythms, and so forth. So what we first start off with when you're playing something by ear is the melody. The most important part, the melody. And that's a sequence of pitches. And we would start off with a song that kids would know, you might know. Let's just say, we'll do something really simple like, let's see. I was going to do Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, but let's get a little bit more advanced than that. We'll say, This Land Is Your Land. Okay, so I'm going to start on a C. And this is the first thing you do. We start on a C and we're going to go, This land. You'd sing the next note. Now there are two questions you need to ask yourself. Is the note going up or is it going down? That's the first question. And the second question is it stepping, which would be the very next note, or is it leaping? Is it going more than one step? So, this land, up or down? Well, I think it's going up, so I'm going to do to this note. And that was correct. This land, so you let your voice lead you. This land is... I heard it going up, so I went there. Was it leaping? This land, say I think it's leaping. I go, this land is, I think that's a leap. Then I might leap and see if that matches my note. Is, no, that seems not right. Is, now that's right. So it's trial and error. You start, land is your, where's that note? We've come from here and it goes up. Your land, and you go through the whole melody, picking it out till you get the song. Now, sometimes when you get stuck in a certain section, you might start to lose a sense of the melody. In other words, you don't know if it's right or wrong. You don't know if it's a leap or step or up or down or anything. And when that happens, you need to start from the beginning of the song again, see what you got. And then you'll hear it, more in the context of the song, and you'll hear the phrase, and you'll be able to tell rather than, just isolating one note. Okay, so say we figured it out, the whole melody. California, don't be shy about singing. Remember, notes can also repeat. Forgot to mention that. For you and me. Okay, and the next thing you would do is decide on the chords, where the chords would go. So I would write down the words to the song. This land is your, and how do you know where a chord would go? Or wherever you feel a kind of emphasis when you're singing it. So if we go, this land is your land, that has an emphasis. This land is my land, that has an emphasis, right? My, your. So you'd write the words down and then you would just circle the word where you feel that there's that emphasis. Your. The next thing to do is to figure out, well, what are the chords that go with that? And that's a little simpler than you might imagine. There's something called primary chords in every key. So we're in the key of C here. Not because we started on C, but we just are in the key of C. Just trust me on that. And the primary chords in the key of C are C, F, and G. And I'll do another lesson on that another time as to how you come up with the primary chords. But when you are figuring out songs by ear, actually, I would start in the key of C anyway. Which means sometimes you would start your note on C, and oftentimes you would start it on a G below the C. Okay, so C, F, and G are our primary chords. So we would go, this land is your, that's our first chord, right? And we have an F there. So there's a good chance that the chord is going to be the F chord. What other chords? We have C, F, and G, and usually the G would be a G7, so it has an F in it. it's a 4-note chord. So our two options, most of the time the right hand melody is contained in the chord. So what chord could we put here? We could put the F chord, but we might also try the G7 because the G7 has an F in it. This land is your land, and that sounds awful, so we know that's not it. This land is F. This land is, the next chord was my land. So what chord has an E in it? Well, the only chord of the C, F, and G7 that has an E in it is a C chord, which is called the tonic chord, our home chord. This land is your land. This land is my land. It works perfectly, right? From California. Now we're on a D, and foreign, California, that would be an emphasis. So we need a chord for that area on foreign. And what chord should we put in? We've got a D. Would we do a C chord? That's really not going to work. There's no D in a C chord. Will we do an F chord? That's not going to work. But there is a D in the G7 chord, and I'm inverting it in the left hand. Just could make it easier to play. California, and it works, right? To the New York Sea Island, from the redwood, we're on F again, so I'm going to do an F chord. Boris, to the Gulf Stream, we're on E, I'd go back to the C. Waters, we're on D. This land was made for you and me. And when your fingers intersect like that, just lift up a finger in the left hand. You could always take the right hand up a whole octave too to give yourself more room. So, in summary, you would start picking out the right hand melody. You listen to whether the note goes up or down or repeats. You look at how far it goes. Is it leaping or is it stepping? You sing the note and try to match it. Do that all with the right hand. And then you would add the chords to it using just the C chord, the F chord, and the G7. And I would recommend that you start with easy folk tunes, children's songs, just to train your ear and not make it too complicated in the beginning. And you're just working with 2- and 3-chord songs. And when you're using folk songs, traditional songs, maybe easy Christmas carols, secular Christmas carols, a lot of them just have 3 chords in them, and those 3 chords are those primary chords. Okay, so that will get you started playing by ear, and then as you get better and better, you can start learning how to branch out of the 3-chord songs and get into 4- and 5-chord songs, and pretty soon you'll be playing Billy Joel, right? All right, so have fun with that, and I'll talk next week. Bye bye.